everybody. Welcome back to another great edition of The Hop with Gabe and Steven. We are here. We are ready to drink some craft beer, have a good time, and hang out. I am your co-host, Gabe, and that is your co-host, Steven. What's good?
Hello, friends, Romans, countrymen. Welcome into The Hop. We're back.
Dude. Lend me your beers. Come on.
Oh, good call. Yes, lend me your beers. We've said it before.
Yeah, probably.
Well, welcome into it. We got a brewery out of Philadelphia today, the city of brotherly love. And this one's a fun one because Gabe and I went there in person. We sat at this beautiful bar that is behind me. If you're watching on YouTube, we had some drinks. It was a good time. So we absolutely love this place. And if you happen to visit, our sticker is somewhere on the wall. So we're represented. We're a part of this brewery.
It's on the wall and it's in one of the bathrooms. # you're welcome. We are drinking Love City.
Love City Brewing out of Philadelphia. Newer company, but great one. Great mission statement. Great beer lineups. Everything. So this is the kind of brewery we love to feature. A brewery we stumbled upon. Actually, you know what? We should give credit where credit is due.
Yes. Yep.
When we picked up beer for our Mac Brewing episode, it was recommended to us that we check out Love City, and we did.
His exact words were, "You guys are in Philly. You have to go to Love City." And we said, "I mean, okay." Twist our arms.
Don't have to tell us twice.
It was down the road. We walked in. Yeah, beautiful patio area. We sat inside at the dope bar that is behind Steven for you YouTubers, and we had one of their Black is Beautifuls. It was 10%. We were feeling some type of way, and here we are now.
And then we continued on our journey. But so we're very excited to feature them because we have been sitting on them for quite a while. Sitting on their beers is a better way to phrase that. So welcome to it. You can engage with the show, social media. We're at the HO Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. We're on Facebook, YouTube, as we alluded to. If you could subscribe over there, click the bell so you get notified when things are happening. And you can send us an email, thehopod@gmail.com. And you can find us on all the major podcast platforms. Big news, people. We may or may not be available on Amazon soon. Still a work in progress. I maybe I shouldn't have said that. It may not happen. It may not happen.
Spoke it into existence, so now it's real.
Out there now. Someday, in the near future, you may be able to say, "Hey Alexa, play the hop." So
wow,
it's coming. We'll see. In the meantime, though, Apple, Spotify, Google, all the other ones, and wherever you choose to listen, you can subscribe, you can follow, whatever they call it on your podcast platform of choice. And on Apple, if you could give us a rate and review, if you're a listener of the show, I know we have regular listeners out there, and I know we say this every week, but we do mean it, guys. And if you are a regular listener, please, give us a review. It takes 5 minutes, but it really means the world to us, and it helps us make the show better for you each and every week, which is all that we really want to do. So if you have the time, we would greatly appreciate it.
Let us know what breweries to hit up next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. If you've drafted a fantasy football team and you had the 8th pick or later, let us know if you took Travis Kelce, because a lot of people are doing it.
Guys, we are recording this episode hot off a fantasy football draft. We finished the draft. Yes. We hit record. So I
had the 8th pick. I went with Kelce. I was gonna wait for him to snake back around. I didn't want to take the chance. I think it was a good move. Steven thinks it was a good move.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I had the 3rd pick, and I got Alvin Kamara.
There you go.
Sports. Okay, Gabe, you ready to get into the news?
Hell yeah.
Beer news.
Alexa, play the hop. Playing Chopped.
Oh yeah, good point.
That's funny though.
It's like I said, it's a work in progress. So some highlights that are going on. We mentioned the lawsuit against Anheuser-Busch. We've talked quite a bit about Anheuser-Busch getting sued.
Which one?
Yeah. Well, the one involving Visa Sour, however you phrase that, their brand, their quote unquote craft beer brand in Miami. That lawsuit was dismissed last week in Miami. The judge called craft beer a, quote, subjective term. So I don't know that judge's name, but sir, whatever craft beer is, Anheuser-Busch ain't it.
Yeah.
But whatever. That happened. Yingling is available in Texas, so that's exciting if you live in Texas and like some old style
Cool.
craft beer. And
Why
then
not?
the fine financial minds at Goldman Sachs are predicting a quote-unquote shakeout of the seltzer category in 2022. We've kind of talked about this a little bit, but it's kind of a trend. We're seeing a lot of people predict this, that the bubble's going to burst, as it were.
Oh, yeah.
Goldman Sachs knows a things or two about bubbles bursting, and the seltzer bubbles are a bursting. So they're predicting that 8 to 10 of the top brands, your White Claws, your Trulies, will survive, and the rest will die a slow, painful, ugly, merciless, agonizing, and hilarious death. It's hard for us to mourn the loss of a seltzer.
Is. I just think it's like, how funny was it going to be? Like a couple months down the line, hard seltzer kind of stops, and then like you go into like an old store and you're like, is that the last can of Corona seltzer? It's like you keep it on your wall as like a token.
That one already died, didn't it? Oh no, that was Coors Seltzer. That's
all dying.
Officially.
Who knows?
Whatever.
All right. Our first news story. We've been seeing a little bit of this lately. Hip hop and beer, and we've got a new group on the beer scene. Run the Jewels is partnering with a couple of the Black-owned breweries. They are making some dope beers. For those of you who know, Run the Jewels, dope group, Killer Mike and LP, awesome rap duo. They've got a lot of good hits out. Steven, surprise, I got the music.
Yeah, we're going to get sued, but keep going.
It was only a couple seconds. We're fine. Like I said, they're partnering with several Black-owned breweries. They're creating a new series of collaborative beers slated for fall of 2021. This is not the first time they've done this. They have ventured into the beverage space a little bit. Last year, they collaborated with 13 breweries on an IPA. They recently worked with a Chicago-based brewery to roll out a seltzer. It's probably dead now, but we're looking forward. New beers. This one is called Never Look Back. It's a premium rice lager brewed in collaboration with nonprofit Beer Culture at Green Bench Brewing Co. in Florida. They've got one called All Due Respect, a molasses and corn grits strong ale. Wow.
Crazy.
Brewed in collaboration with Proximity Brewing and Spaceway Brewing. That's going to be released at Black Brew Culture's Blacktoberfest. That's going to be on October 8th in Durham, North Carolina. And Blockbuster Night Part 1, which is, quote, a danky IPA with terpenes brewed in collaboration with Brew Gentleman Brewery of Braddock, Pennsylvania. That is set to debut at Barrel and Flow Fest on September 10th. And of course, a portion of the proceeds for each beer will be designated to go back into the community via local charities and nonprofits. Run the Jewels has been pretty vocal about that, giving back, and they're making dope music. They're making dope beer. They have a lot of... Run the Jewels, especially Killer Mike, has been in a collaboration with a bunch of other artists, so I wouldn't be surprised if either A, they expand brewing-wise, or B, they expand alcohol-wise. I feel like I could see a potential like liquor collaboration in the future. Who knows? But that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, Run the Jewels this isn't the first time that they've dove into the liquor space. They've already been brewing with Interborough, which is a big one out of New York, and they've been brewing with, this isn't the first time, but this is, this is specifically geared towards supporting Black-owned businesses and kind of giving a platform to that, which is why it made the news section of our show. We do not own the content produced by Run the Jewels, and we apologize for any copyright infringement that may have happened here today.
We played all the way up a couple weeks ago.
True. Moving on, Deschutes has been named the official beer of the Pac-12. This is exciting, and I'm going to talk about it because I go to a Pac-12 school. #fight on. So college football's back. Deschutes is part of the party now. We know Deschutes, they're a brewery out of Oregon, Bend, Oregon. They are known widely for their love of the hops and the IPAs, but they have, surprisingly have not made it to our show yet. But we'll get there. But it's a great brewery, and this is a multi-year sponsorship beginning in the 2021 season.
Thank God.
Steve Sang is the executive VP of sales for the Pac-12, and he said in a press release that with Deschutes based in the Pac-12 footprint in Bend, we look forward to increasing the awareness of this quintessential craft brewery beyond the Pacific Northwest. So it's not huge news. I mean, we do see, we see beverage companies and sports teams sponsor each other. We see that kind of collaboration all the time, but this is exciting because I guess I can get better beer at the Coliseum now at USC.
Yeah. And they're also, it's not just football, it's also men's basketball in the Pac-12, which is pretty huge. So they're definitely making waves. I think it's a great idea just from a business standpoint. I mean, it's people sometimes go more nuts for college sports than the pros.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know plenty of people who don't even like the NFL, but they just love college football, and then some of them move on to the NFL. Go Juju. So that's that. And then our final story, Harpoon's new Dunkin flavors are out, and Gabe and I are excited about this, weirdly.
Oh boy. Here we go again.
I feel like we weren't excited for this last year, but then we did the episode, and now I'm a fan.
2 of the beers last year were fine. The other, that Jelly Donut IPA,
that was.
I applaud Harpoon. It's you took a chance, but
here's the good news:
in terms of baseball, swing and a miss.
The good news is it's gone, and this is exciting. It's a little gimmicky, but Harpoon every year. It's kind of an annual thing now. They partner with Dunkin' Donuts on a sort of fall mix pack. The pumpkin spice latte flavor is back this year.
Obviously.
If you're interested in last year's flavors, you can go listen to round 49. And who knows? It might become an annual thing.
You'll hear us be like, oh, God. Oh, no.
But so the pumpkin spice latte is back. That was one of the good ones.
That was the good one, yeah.
And we have 3 new beers here. We have the Duncan Blueberry Matcha IPA, which is a hazy IPA with blueberries. Oh, where is she?
I was just about to say. I'm blue,
blueberries, as well as matcha tea and a blend of traditional and modern hops, which is apparently tea-like and tropical with bright, juicy notes. We'll see. They have a
delicious
Dunkin' Maple Cream Blonde Ale, which
this one I'm interested in. This one sounds good.
By. It's a blonde ale brewed with actual Dunkin' Donuts and maple syrup. So it's easy drinking. It's malty. That I'm intrigued by. You usually see maple syrup in like a stout, so I'm interested in that.
So
for sure.
In a blonde ale, I feel like that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, and then the last one is a Dunkin' Midnight American Porter. They did have something in there before, but this is a riff on the coffee porter of last year. It's a midnight roast coffee for extra aromatics, dark chocolate notes, and an espresso finish. So
I remember the pumpkin spice latte, Boston cream, the coffee porter. I think it was just called Dunkin' Porter.
Yes, and then there was the jelly donut. And that was it. But this one's a little bit wilder, a little bit crazier. They did a big release day on August 30th where they had Duncan come to the brewery and they had a special donut that had a little bit of alcohol in it. It was like a jelly donut with a little infusion.
Nice.
And it was like this big event. But the beers, the pumpkin is coming in its own 6-pack, but it's also part of the mix pack, and then the rest of them will be available on shelves. And then in the Boston area, you can also go to B-Dubs and get the beers on tap starting in October.
Of course you can.
At B-Dubs.
Why not? Last time we did this, I think your brother got it for us. So if your brother is listening, and he should be, if we're able to get our hands on this again, we'll do it again.
We will absolutely do it. John,
it was fun last time.
John, pick up the Dunkin' Harpoon.
John, figure it out.
Thank you. All right, I propose a toast.
Yes, you do.
As we head down to Philly. So, The founder of Philadelphia, his name is William Penn, and apparently he was a real hoot of a guy. Legend had it that he smiled exactly once in his 73 years of life.
Oh yeah,
So-
let's hear from him.
Little bit of a straight edge, but here are some of his quotes. Right is right, even if everyone is against it, and wrong is wrong, even if everyone is for it. True silence is the rest of the mind. It is to the spirit what sleep is to the body, nourishment and refreshment. No pain, no palm, no thorns, no throne, no gall, no glory, no cross, no crown. A true friend unbosoms freely, advises justly, assists readily, adventures boldly, takes all patiently, defends courageously, and continues a friend unchangeably. Thanks,
Wow,
Bill.
For someone who didn't smile a lot, wise
He wasn't
words.
a douchebag. He was a Quaker.
Oh yeah, you
So-
know them. You know them Quakers.
So I decided to take his Quaker words
His
and turn it
Quaker.
into
I decided to take his Quaker oats and sow them myself.
a drinking toast, which I'm sure he would be really impressed with. So thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Alrighty, here we go.
Let's drink some brotherly love.
Okay, so we're kicking things off with their Lime City Lager, and it's a 4% ABV lager. Beer Advocate has not rated it. Untapped has it at 3.61. This is a twist on their Love City Lager, which is just the standard lager, one of their OG beers, and they took this one and kind of turned it into a lime and salt, kind of a Corona and lime, if you will, but better.
But it's not a
And-
goza. It's a lager.
No, it's not a goza, and it's not brewed with salt water that we know of, but there is salt
Ooh.
added to the brew and lime juice. And from the can, that feeling you get when surrounded by good friends and sunshine in a can, made with lime and sea salt for a bright, refreshing taste, the perfect beer for warm weather and good times.
It smells like a margarita. Well, I shouldn't
Ooh.
say margarita, but like that family. It smells salty, smells lime and citrusy. It smells like it's going to be a good time. But it's weird. It doesn't smell like a goza. Like I feel like when you get a goza, it's very tart, funky. Like I'm not really I'm getting like lime salt beer.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on that too. That it's interesting because it doesn't smell like a goza. It's less astringent. There's no sour esters to it. Not that you get that much on a goza, but this is much sweeter. You get the Pilsner malt coming off it. You get the bread and straw and those kinds of things. The lime and salt are present. I would also say some other citrus, maybe a hint of orange, like subtle orange is in there. And then some just light, sort of fragrant, spicy hops, probably like a noble hop or something in that sort of German
Ooh,
family.
I am getting a little bit of spice. That's interesting. It's very, very hidden. I feel like you really have to know what you're looking. We're professionals. You really have to like know what you're looking for, or smelling for. But yeah, I'm.
It's
getting
almost
that.
like it's like Marzen adjacent, if you will. Like it's almost Oktoberfesty, but it's got
yeah,
lime in it. You know,
It kind of is though. And Oktoberfest is right around the corner, so good job, good timing,
yes, sir.
Yeah, we so like we said at the brewery, we had their Black is Beautiful. I think we each had another one. I think about it, but just been like an IPA or something. But we
Yeah.
wanted to take home something that we didn't have there, something that was different. And we saw Lime City Lager, and we were like, number one, check mark. Yeah, we got it.
It was kind of everywhere in there.
I got a classic pint glass. It is like
I have a
see-through.
tumbler. It's very clear. I would say on the SRM chart, it's around a 2 or a 3.
Honestly, it's like almost like white.
Yeah, it's a golden, like sunshiny golden color, almost a pale yellow. It had a sort of thin, fizzy cap that dissipated pretty quickly into kind of nothing. No retention, no lacing. Really.
When I first poured it, the head was pretty solid. But yeah, it went away pretty
thick,
quickly.
But it was.
But it went away very quickly. Yeah.
It was thick but weak. But plenty of sort of bubbles coming up from the bottom of the glass. You know, it looks like the crisp, clean lager that you know it's going to be. You know?
Well, let's see.
Well, Schlancha.
Cheers. Love the carbonation. It's not too much. I think it's kind of perfect. I feel like lately carbonation has really played a factor in the beers we've been drinking. That's something that I've been noticing. So the carbonation is solid. Very easy going down, very simple. The back end is very lime, little bit of saltiness, but I feel like the lager, typical lager tastes, that the kind of easy malt backbone is there, and it kind of overpowers it. So it's not like salty. It's more of like a hint of salt. It's like, you know, when you have a chocolate bar and it's like chocolate made with sea salt, it's like, oh yeah, I can kind of taste it, but it's not the star of the show.
Yeah, this is like water. I could take this after I brush my teeth. I could like finish a workout with this. I could drink it for. No, I'm kidding. It's not. But it's light as fuck. It's very.
Yeah, it's easy going down.
It's, to your point, the salt is not super present. It's more on the nose. It's a subtle kiss, if you will. But it is not like a Goza where the salinity is sort of puckering in your mouth and that's where a lot of the tartness comes from. This is not that at all. This is much more a hint, and there's a hint of lime too. But the star of the show for me is still the lager. It's still the Pilsner malts, and then as you swallow it, there's a little bit of noble hop spiciness, but it's not lingering. It's not strong. It's just so easy drinking, so balanced.
I think for me, the star of the show is the lime. I feel like the things you just mentioned are kind of after. And not that I have a problem with that or anything, but I mean, I just think it's very, very, like, lime, Love City, Lime City Lager. I like that they put lime before lager for me. And I agree with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the lime is definitely there. I don't want to say that the lime is not present because it doesn't taste like just a regular lager. The lime is up front and it is the first thing that comes through.
Yeah.
But I think overall, as I swallow it, I don't feel like I'm drinking like lime juice. I don't feel like I'm drinking something super tart or citrusy. It's definitely a lime lager. It's honestly, like, the best way to compare it is it's a Corona with lime. And
it's a beach beer.
It's way better than that. But, like, if you are a Corona and lime person, like, this is a perfect example of, you probably can't get your hands on this. Maybe you can if you live near Philly. I don't know. But it's a good example of the kind of thing that you can look for out there, especially if it's summer or if you live in a place like LA where it's summer all the time. There are lagers, Pilsners and other types of lagers out there like this that breweries will brew with a kiss of lime, and it's exactly like that. Bud Light has a lime version of it, I think, and Corona with a lime.
I feel like lime is kind of an underrated ingredient with it when it comes to beer. I think it really plays a factor, and I know I've. At one point in my life, I'll admit it, I've had a Corona with the lime. You got to do it. Sometimes you're on vacation and you're just like, you know what? I'm at the beach. Not now. I think now I know, but like way back when. But yeah, I think lime has its place in the beer world, just like orange and lemon. I mean, it really does play a factor, and I like this. I think the ABV is just so low that I don't think you can go wrong any time of day drinking this. I think for me, it's at the beach, you're okay. So it's the point of the beach day where everyone in your party, no matter how many people are either sleeping or reading. It's like that point. It's like, can you hand me a Lime City Lager? And you're just like sitting there, hat over your face, just like drinking this.
It's so easy to drink. Like it's impossible to overstate that. I mean, half of it's gone. I drank half of it just trying to be like, what's the flavor? Lime is a great ingredient that goes really well with lagers. That's what makes it so unique for me, is like we are so used to citrus in beer. We talk about it all the time with orange, with grapefruit, all that stuff with the IPAs. We talk about citrus almost every single episode we do, but I've never had a lime IPA, which, by the way, interesting idea. If anyone needs one, you're welcome. But it goes so well with the lager style, and lime, salt, match made in margarita heaven, and you put it in a beer. I'm content. My mouth is left on the back end clean, ready for more.
Yeah, I was actually just about to say I don't really feel too thirsty. I think it does leave it very clean and very with a little bit of flavor though. It's there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what else can we say about it? It's a well done lime version of their lager, and their lager is, like I said, that's kind of one of their OG beers. Their first beers were the lager. They have a Unity IPA, which I think
right here
may have been one of the one. Yep, we have a coaster, and they have a generator wheat. Those were the original beers, but now they have more and fun stuff. And like we talked about when we were there, we had the Black is Beautiful collab. They have, we'll get into what's on tap currently.
They made those 3 OG beers before they even opened the brewery doors, which is very interesting, with collaborations with other breweries, which is a perfect segue to the brewery. Let's go to Philly. Steak and cheese for all.
Yum. Love it. The brewery was started by Kevin and Melissa Walter. They are a lovely beer-loving couple. I don't know that they're lovely, but they look like it in the pictures. We've never met them. They seem like it, but we've never met. I should just put that out there. But they met at a New Year's Eve party. Beer brought them together, as it so often does. And they took off on this journey. Kevin was initially working at Iron Hill Brewery, and then he ended up, started home brewing. They got into it. I think they actually brewed a beer for their wedding, which is like...
Yes, they did. Him and wifey, power couple, #goals, made a beer
so inspiring
for
to me.
their wedding. So like I said, before they became a brewery, the power couple, as we're calling them, they were collaborating with other breweries, including 2SP and Yards. They're both Philadelphia local breweries. And while he was at Iron Hill Brewery, Kevin worked with Bob Barrar, who was the head brewer at 2SP. So they were able to really get their feet wet when it comes to beer. It's noted saying that Kevin, on his first day at Iron Hill, they told the employees, we want you to like try stuff and make a brew. And he was like, sold, let's get into it.
He said, say less.
Yeah, literally.
And he was a home brewer in college, the age old story, but they now they have this amazing operation and this amazing space. And like we've said, they come highly recommended by people that know beer in Philly. First of all, Mac Brewing, amazing. Drank the last of that, secretly a triple IPA last night.
Yeah, there you go.
But they have this beautiful, if you're not able to watch on YouTube, the space is this beautiful industrial building, very much a factory, kind of looks like an old, renovated factory, which is probably what it is. And you can look through the windows kind of all throughout the very long tap room and see on the other side where the tanks are. And then it keeps going at the end of the brewery. Beautiful, big, long bar, full bar with like cocktails. And they had I think we got like some form of food. I forget exactly what it was.
I think we got chips and salsa.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't ask me why I can remember that, but
I knew it was something unhealthy. I was like, maybe it's in the nachos category. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was a good time though. They had But that their outdoor patio is like, it's not even like a patio. It's literally like one of those big ass tents.
Oh yeah, it was this big.
It was
I mean,
huge.
I think it's more probably COVID related than anything else,
Probably,
but
yeah.
it was definitely like a big outdoor spot, and we went in and sat at the bar. And I just want to mention sort of a couple of things about their philosophy that I find to be really inspiring and telling for sort of who they are. So one of the things they say in their mission statement is, we work hard to demonstrate what a craft brewery should be: a responsible small business that makes outstanding beer while respecting the people that make it possible. Love it. Clean, concise, simple, honest. And I love that that's right on their website in their mission statement. And then the bigger one that I really wanted to bring up, because it's a tenet of our show as well, is they have a section of their website that says Crafted for All, and it says, Love City Brewing is committed to creating a more inclusive, equitable, and just brewery. We have joined a fantastic group of breweries and allied trades in signing the Crafted for All commitment. This isn't simply signing on the dotted line. We created an actionable plan and got feedback from our staff. We're doing the work every day. We're always open to ideas and feedback. And there's an email address there if you have, if you're somebody who's been to the brewery, or you have suggestions for how they can continue working towards a more inclusive, equitable, and just brewery. So yeah, I mean, that's
well
what
done,
it's all about.
guys. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's right on their website. Under their about section, it's like, yeah, we started a brewery. Who cares about that? Listen, this is our core values, and this is what we want to, go to.
And that's doing the right thing. Do we need to give a round of applause to them for that? Arguably, every brewery should be doing that. But the thing is, every brewery isn't doing that. So
right.
If every brewery operated that way and made that a core tenet and made that part of their website right up front, look, this is built into who we are, the beer industry would be a better industry, and the world as a whole would be a better place. So we wanted to shout it out.
Everyone else.
Yeah. Exactly.
I wanted to very quickly talk about the logo. For those of you on YouTube, it is basically a lantern with a quill pen and a hammer behind it. And what's really cool is an article I read describing it. The lantern signifies the fact that beer is the light at the center of the table and something that is used to gather together, like the owners met over beer. The quill displays the artistic and esoteric side of beer, as they will be employing a cellaring program and experimenting with various styles of beer, talking about the brewery, but absolutely. And last and most importantly, not least, the hammer is a sign of the beer being the drink of the hard-working individual. That's a big thing that the brewery is behind. It's beer is like how did they describe it? Like the worker man's...
It's a working man's drink.
Working man's drink, yeah.
It's not like scotch, It's
right,
it's,
yeah, it's not the fancy stuff. It's, you served a hard day, grab a beer with a bud, So, but yeah, it's really cool. It all kind of ties in together: lantern, quill, and hammer. And, we're artistic, so we loves that stuff,
Yes, that's why you're the Can Arts and Crafts person.
Hey.
Let's give some final thoughts on this Lime City Lager, if you have any. I'll go first. And,
Great.
I really don't have much to add to what I said before, but just to sum it up, it's a perfect light drinking option, and I think it's a nice twist on the lager. I think their lager is probably very similar to this, minus lime and salt. But 4%. You could just slam several of these and be okay in the morning.
Okay.
So it's great. It's exactly what it's supposed to do. And honestly, I drink so many heavy IPAs, intense beers, high ABV options, barrel-aged stuff, that every now and then a beer like this is just like really refreshing and nice and exactly what my palate needs. So I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
I enjoyed the hell out of it. My beer's gone.
Oh, it's fully gone.
But I've got two more, so I'm not too upset about it. I think it's great. And you kind of took the words right out of my mouth. I think it is a great change of pace. It is very refreshing because, like you said, we are kind of similarly, but I'm also on my own path of like I like the IPAs, but I also like this, I also like that, blah 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 blah. And to have something like this that we like the high ABV, we love the 10% tripas, and so to have a beer make our show and it be 4% and it not suck is a home run for us. Like, that's a great day. You know what I'm saying? So this does not suck. This is great. I like the lime. I think lime has a place in the beer world. And the Lime City Lager. Get your hands on it.
And with that, we turn our attention to another beer that also has fruit in it. So number 2 is the Hazy Rider.
Let's get
IPA.
hazy up in this bitch.
We're getting hazy, and it's a hazy IPA with pineapple.
Yes,
so
we have the pineapple version. There are others.
Yeah.
This is a rotating series. They got mango, pink guava, and pineapple, and we got the pine.
So it's 5.8% ABV. It's a 3.74 on Untapped. Beer Advocate has not rated this one either because it's pretty new. And here it is. Again, SRM chart. I mean, this is a little bit darker than what we were doing before. And this is my Game of Thrones glass if you're on YouTube. But
I almost poured this into my Tyrion glass. Should have, damn it.
See.
That would have been perfect.
Should've. But it's not that dark. I mean, it's golden. I would say SRM chart, maybe a 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I would say up there.
It's golden, and
nice.
Also
it had a nice head when it first poured, and right now I've got just a ring and a teeny tiny bit of lacing, not a lot, but it's there.
Also, haze wise, I mean, I think it's time to bust out our favorite phrase, Gabe. I wouldn't call it hazy. I would
maybe call it cloudy. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, compared with some hazy IPAs that look like a milkshake or something, this is like, I can see my hand on the other side of the glass. You know what I mean? It's foggy, it's cloudy, it's definitely...
you can or you can't?
I can.
Oh, I cannot.
Yeah, I can. I mean, it's not clearly visible. I would say the visibility is low.
It's low, yeah.
Okay,
I would say that. Yeah, it's definitely low. But...
Like in the Formula One race I tried to watch this morning, but...
Whoops!
It's there. From the can, Hazy Rider is our series this is actually from the website. Hazy Rider is our series of freewheeling fruited hazy IPAs. This beer is fermented with pineapple and triple dry hopped with bold American hops for a juicy citrus explosion. Kick back and take it easy with this trip to the tropics. And they said this one is juicy, brewed with oat malt and assertively hopped with mosaic and hell melon. That's Huell. I don't know if that's how you say it.
Yeah, I would have said Huel. I don't know.
Maybe it's Huel.
I don't know.
Ripe mango with light melon and berry hop character. But the oat malt is interesting to me. That's the part that...
I feel, yeah. And that was the description for the pineapple, but my first thought when I saw it was, maybe that's for the guava, but it said that was for the pineapple, so... We'll see. Don't shoot the messenger. But let me tell you something. This smells like our speed. It smells like a fruity, hoppy IPA. It smells like sex in a bottle. I'm just gonna say it, or in a can. In a can. Thoughts?
I don't. I want to keep my thoughts to myself on that.
No, you can't.
But it smells, all right, to me, it smells like an IPA. Full stop. Because I don't put my nose to it and smell pineapple juice. I don't smell a whole lot of pineapple. Pineapple, citrus, those kinds of flavors are inherent in an IPA style. So I'm interested by it because it's like, is this going to be an IPA? Is this going to taste much different from a normal IPA that we would have? Like, how much is the pineapple going to add to this? Or is it just going to be like having any other tropical IPA where you could say, oh yeah, there's mango in this. Oh yeah, there's guava, there's papaya, there's pineapple, there's whatever. But the smell is hops. It's some citrus up front for sure.
It's a little bit of tropical fruit, but yeah, I think the hops are more present and more prominent than the tropical smell. I would kind of agree with that. I think I am getting pineapple. I'm not getting a lot of pineapple off the smell. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't.
I am getting pineapple. I don't mean to suggest that I'm not. It's just that when I read IPA with pineapple, I was expecting it to be like a super pineapple-y IPA. And now that I'm smelling it, I'm like, well, I get pineapple on a lot of IPAs, and so maybe this is just a tropical IPA. You know, like
maybe
we'll see.
It's one of those things that it tastes different than it smells. There's only one way to find out. Love City, thank you for these beers. And we're going to enjoy the Hazy Rider.
Oh, shit. Yeah, there's the pineapple. It's in there. It's in there. We found it.
Oh,
don't worry.
there it is. Oh, I found it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was looking in
worry.
the wrong section.
My apologies. Love City Brewing.
It's there. It's very strong. I would argue maybe the star of the show, but it's balanced really well by these hoppy. I don't want to say bite, maybe nibble. It is kind of like hoppy. You know what I mean, though? Like it's not like a double IPA where it's like, oh man, it's boozy as hell. Like 5.8, it's really not that strong, but it does have that characteristic to it, and we always love to see that. And I think it's balanced really well. I think I'm getting maybe a little grapefruit as well, maybe a little mango. Not getting berry right away, but maybe I will over time. Who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting when we read that description, you know, ripe mango with light melon and berry hop character. Absolutely, because there's an earthiness to this. So the hops are tropical, yes. The mosaic is there. The mosaic is bringing all of that tropical, juicy, New England-y type style of hops that we are used to. But this has a real sort of fresh melon thing going on. It's very it's very it might be those Huel or Hell melon, whatever they are. I mean, I've never heard of that hop, and I don't think I've ever had it. So
melon,
there's something that's more on the earthy, bitter side without being a biting bitter hop. It's not a Cascade. It's not a Centennial. It's nothing like that. But there's something about it that's fresh is really the best word that I have to describe it. All the tropical notes are there, but it's much stronger than it often is when you just have that blend of Citra Mosaic and a hazy New England, you know?
I'm going to make a very bold statement.
Okay.
There is a in my opinion, there is a very distinct difference between drinking beer out of a can and drinking a beer straight from the tap at a brewery. This beer tastes like it just came out of a tap of the brewery. That's how fresh of a taste I'm getting off of it. And, not that when you transfer it to a can, it's bad or whatever. It's just that it's not as fresh right from the spout, if you will. So there is something about this that not only takes me back to when we visited, but also just really makes me think I'm sitting at that bar behind you, enjoying a beer, putting our stickers up in all random places. It really does take me back there.
Yeah, it's really very good. And the mouthfeel, the carbonation is higher than you might expect and higher than the last one. It's definitely got a vibrant, sort of sparkly mouthfeel. It is full-bodied at 5.8%. I mean, this is also a pretty easy drinker, but it has more flavor, so I wouldn't call it like crushable, but it's not going to kill you. Really easy drinking, but I agree. The flavors are really impressive here. I mean, genuinely. And, we say that, I'll speak for myself. I say that as somebody who drinks a fuck ton of IPAs, and I've been very vocal about the fact that I'm really sick of tropical IPAs and hazy New Englands, but this is a different take on it, and that's the thing. Like, I have seen so many IPAs that just take Citra, Mosaic, put them together, don't filter it, it's hazy, it's juicy, it's good. There's nothing wrong with it, but this is a different...
It works. People like it.
And this is a slightly different take on it that is refreshing and new. It's nothing weird, it's nothing crazy, but it's just a slightly different take on this style. So I'd be interested in the other additions, the mango and pink guava.
Right.
I don't think that's a huge leap from where we are right now at all.
I don't think it is either. I definitely would put this more in the New England range, but there's something West Coasty about it.
Well, it's got a little bit more bite than a lot of those New England ones do, I think. And that may be why.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the flavor. I don't know. I wouldn't call it a West Coast IPA, but I just think it's definitely more New England, but I feel like it kind of inches toward West Coast, and that's, it's like, ooh, that's different.
Yeah, there's a bitter hint of, and it's really, honestly, it's not bitter like hop bitter, like bite, like dank. It's not that. It's more like fresh mango. Like that's really what it is. It's like when you eat mango, there's something about mango. It's very sweet and tropical and good, but there's something that like is like fresh bitter or something. I don't know exactly how to describe it. Grassy almost, or herbal or something. There's just a little hint of something, and I get that on this beer for sure.
I feel like this beer is like awakening my soul.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one that changed Gabe's life.
Pretty much. I don't know.
Gabe, how you feeling today?
I feel like we should. I feel good. I feel loose. I feel smooth. I feel like now is the time where my art juices are flowing, and it's just it's about that time for our special guest to join us.
That's such a coincidence because I was like just about to hit this button.
Can Art and Crafts.
Yeah, Love City Brewing. Oh, the sticker fell. Whatever. All right, Can Arts and Crafts. Let's get artistic. Here we go. Lime City Lager. We've got the big, bright lime green coloring on it. We've got some black and white stripes, got a zebra theme to it. I like it. I'm into it. I love how the Love City logo is just written right up top with the big and bold lager letters right in the middle. And then we've got the Hazy Rider, which is pretty similar in a way, very different. We've got some yellow for the pineapple, makes sense. Where Love City is written, it's written in gold. Love me gold, that's my color. And it's not a tremendous amount of art. For those of you on YouTube, you can see like the black and white stripes on the Lime City Lager. That is on the Hazy Rider. However, it's yellowed out, and so in order to see it, you kind of have to get kind of close. But it is there. They kind of have this stripes theme to it. I think that's really cool. I think that's really fun. I think my favorite part, though, is their logo, the lantern, the quill pen, and the hammer. I just think it looks cool. The flame is like kind of like a white flame, and I think that's really interesting and different. I think these two together, the score, I think I'm going to give it a solid 6.7. I think they're bright. I think they will stand out depending on which beers they're sitting next to. Love City is great. They have a lot of great stuff on tap that we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, I think it's just solid. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing tremendous about it, but it's just really solid. Bob Ross, what do you think? It doesn't matter. I speak for us both. He's feeling the love like you should be. And that's another great addition of the Love City Brewing Can Arts and Crafts.
So the beers that we had when we were there are not, specifically the Black is Beautiful, are not currently on tap, but they do have, the Love City is always there, the Unity IPA is always there, the Lime City is pretty much always there. They have some other Pilsners and wheat ales, and they have different things that pops up from time to time. What Stephen would like to talk about,
ladies and gentlemen, Stephen has the floor.
It's a beer called the Monstro, which is a pumpkin ale. You know I love them. It's that time of year. And this one is aged for 6 months in New Liberty rye whiskey barrels. It's a classic pumpkin beer with caramel-like malt body with a pleasant kick of fall spices. It sounds like it would taste...
They're magically delicious.
Magically delicious, and...
Damn it. He's back. That little bastard owes me money.
Listen, we're gonna get into pumpkin ales. You know, we're not quite there yet. We're just into September, but it's I love pumpkin ales because when you take a pumpkin ale Could be too sweet, sure, but they aged it in rye whiskey barrels. It sounds fucking delicious.
And
So
for those of you who don't like that, they've got a bunch of other stuff, but they even have their own cocktail menu. And we're craft beer, but I'm a sucker for a nice old-fashioned. They've got a berry old-fashioned bourbon, blackberry, honey, lemon syrup, orange, and bitters. Sure, I'll take one.
yeah, and they also are doing something which is kind of a trend that you see rarely, but not enough people do it, where they make cocktails out of beer. So they have a whole list on their menu that's beer and booze, and it's basically a list of beer cocktails. I mean, for example, the Love City Wide Special is a 12-ounce can of Love City Lager that just comes with a shot of whiskey, but they have
Nice.
one called the Ginger Raspberry Lager Shandy, which is a lager mixed with ginger brandy, raspberry schnapps, ginger syrup, club soda, and lime. So you take the beer, you mix it into other things, and it becomes part of the cocktail. Some people do this with wine, but with beer, it's even more rare, and I support it. I like it.
I
So-
support it. I'm just not sure about what the next morning will bring, but that's why
Sure, but
there's
that's
that's why there's Tylenol.
and yeah, and water and
And if you look at their beer list, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we were correct. You'll see chips and salsa. So that is what we had at the brewery.
yeah, you're right. We did not eat beef jerky.
No, we didn't. No, we would have
that's-
remembered that.
That's not us. That's not us. No shame if that's you, but it
We
ain't
just
us.
didn't have it.
We have one last thing to do before we get out of here. Here we go.
Last call.
And we're going to talk about Guinness. Not the kind of Guinness we usually talk about, but it is the same company. Did you know that?
I didn't
Now
know
you
that,
do.
but I had a feeling.
The
Like,
people
it
who
doesn't
make beer,
surprise me.
they also deal in world records.
And this
Gabe,
one,
you have the floor.
Thank you, sir. I have to be honest, and I'm willing to hear the argument, but I would like to try this. I think I could do it.
Okay.
A 12-year-old broke the world record for the most time spent on a swing. He pulled it off. 36 hours of swinging. Every 4 hours, you get a 20-minute break, and all you have to do is stay on the swing and at your own pace, swing back and forth. I think it's doable, but, here we are. His name is Sean Lewis. He is in Rochester, New York. He got on the swing at 7 a.m. Yep, taking a 20-minute break every 4 hours to stretch, eat, and use the restroom. Doable. His dad said when I put the rope swings up years ago, he just fell in love with them. I don't know where he found this record or why he found this record, but it came across his plate and he said, challenge accepted. And what's great is if you go online and look, the local news is talking about it. You can see him and his dad outside playing Madden outside. Got an appreciation for that. Love that. And
That's fun.
He attempted and he broke the record. And I don't know. Something about this just feels like, yeah, I could do that.
I feel like you're diminishing this kid's accomplishment, and I just need to be here to we just need to break down the reality of this a little bit.
I don't
the dude
mean
was
to.
on a
I don't
the
mean
dude
to.
was on a swing for 36 hours. Now,
It's a long time.
now by my count, that's a day and a half. So
True.
he said when he broke the record, he said the toughest part was swinging through the night, which right there, I mean, you can only get off the swing for 20 minutes. I have never gone 36 hours without sleep. The older I get, the more I appreciate sleep in my life. It's a big part of my functionality.
Well, that's
I
true.
don't,
He's 12. He doesn't need all the sleep.
Yeah, he doesn't need sleep. This is a 12-year-old's game. I know it sounds like, oh yeah, you just have to be on a swing, but that's what we thought about hanging on a bar, and that shit hurt.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think I beat you, and I was at
You
like
did
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't. Oh man, I
But-
was like hanging on a bar, like that's easy. And then we did it, and we were like 10 seconds in. Oh no. Oh boy, this is
yeah.
not good.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean-
that's and this is now, I'm not saying it's that it would be easier to last on a swing, but
Yes.
you can only get up for a 20-minute break every 4 hours. That means you can't eat, drink water, go to the bathroom for 4 hours at a clip, which doesn't sound like it would be the biggest deal, but I don't know. Everyone would have their own issues. My back would hurt. My back hurts right now, and all we're doing is recording a podcast.
Yeah.
My back would hurt.
I think like okay, not to be weird or anything, but like my legs and like my like ass would hurt. I mean, for sure. You're sitting for that
that's
long.
That's a start. Yep.
Yes.
Is it a padded swing?
Like, can you bring a pillow out there? My thing is, okay, me, late 20s, I could do it, through the night, not a big deal. This kid's 12. Like, did his parents stay up with him? If I had a 12-year-old, I would be like, you're not staying up alone at night. Like, what neighborhood do they live in?
That was my question. They live in Rochester. He's fine. But that was my question as well. It was like, I mean, I don't care if you live in the middle of like, what's that Disney World town in Florida that Disney owns where it's like it's just happy all. The lowest crime rate in the world. No, it's not Orlando. They like own a town. I forget what it's called.
Oh, Epcot.
That's what I'm thinking of.
No idea.
I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Utopia. Like, I still don't know if I had a kid that I'd be comfortable being like, well, good night, and just passing out while the kid's out on the swing.
You want me to leave the light on? Like, no. Like, at some point,
someone probably stayed up.
Yeah,
maybe they took shifts.
Me and the wife, like, someone's got to take a shit. Like, all right, you watch him tonight, I'll watch him in the morning. Did he do this on a school night?
That's my other question.
I hope not.
Well, it's summer, so let's assume he's not in school. But even then, like, as a parent, I mean, you want to be proud. He's in the news. He made history. But at the same time, he spent 36 hours on a swing. Like,
true. I mean,
if you break the record, does it make it okay? Like, if I spent, I don't know what the record is for like binging Netflix and drinking beers, but if I set the record for that, would it be impressive?
It's probably Netflix and drinking beers in one sitting is probably like 157 hours. Like, it's probably something crazy stupid that you're just like, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, I agree. When I watched the video, the news reporting was saying how, the one thing he took away from all this was, I mean, like, at most times I was just bored. I mean, yeah.
That's the other thing. You're on a swing. You can't check your phone. You can't. I mean, I guess you could listen to like a podcast, The Hop with Gabe and Steven, 12 years old. We not really our target demographic, but we'll give you ideas.
You could
for
listen
the future.
36 episodes. It'd be great.
We'll give you ideas, and then when you turn 21, you'll have a whole lot of knowledge.
Yeah, there you go.
But you could listen to stuff, music, whatever. But I mean, you can't, like, unless you got somebody holding the screen up, you can't watch anything. You definitely can't read. You can't, like, it sounds boring, if I'm being honest.
Here's the thing, though, and this is what enticed me, the whole Madden thing. I mean, they set up like a TV and they propped it up, and he's sitting there with his dad just playing video games. Like,
on the swing?
Yeah, he's sitting on the swing and he's playing like Madden, and like,
I didn't get that before. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, listen, I'm a big video game player. Like,
Well, that sounds fun. It sounds like he had a lot of support, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
and his new record. But
there's a little table outside with his little cheering section. I don't know if they're like who these people are. Maybe they're from the Guinness World Record team. But I mean, yeah. Hey, listen, Sean.
It can't have been excruciating because the record was 34 hours and 20 minutes, and he made it 36 hours. So if it was really awful at like 34:25, he could have been like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But he built in security. He padded his lead.
He's like, now beat it. Yeah. I just think of like how funny it would be, like the second 36-hour hits, he just falls off the swing like, I can't do it anymore.
I need a bed and a bathroom and food all at the same time and a shower.
Well, I mean, I miss my swings. I had swings growing up, and I spent many an hour out there. Not 36 hours, but I love me some swings. So, well done, Sean.
take that
Plaque.
endurance and perseverance and apply it to something else in life. I'm sure you're going to go very far, because if you could do this on a swing at 12, who knows what you can do.
I can't wait to see the next world record you're going to break. Most time spent on a I don't know, on a skateboard. I don't know.
Longest, not monkey bars. What's the rings? What are those called? Just rings?
The Olympic rings?
Well, yeah, but the one they used to have like long rows of them. You could like go from ring to ring.
One to one. I think they're just called the rings. I don't know. Lord of the Rings.
Slowest slide down a slide. Okay, we have to go.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Love City Brewing. We had a great time here, genuinely. We loved the spot. We would have stayed longer if we could. If we lived in Philly, we'd be there all the time. This is one, if you live anywhere near Philly, highly recommend you get down to this tap room. It's beautiful.
There,
and
definitely.
Pick up some of their beers because we loved it. We love their mission. We love everything about the place. So
special shout out to anyone who can find our stickers. One is on the wall, one is in the bathroom. You find it, take a photo. We will give you all the shout outs and we will love you forever. Go
tweet
find
it at us, tag us in it. Yes,
do it all
absolutely.
the things. Go check out this brewery. They have dope beers, they have dope stickers, they have dope coasters, and they have, more importantly, dope beer, and dope vibes.
Round 89 is coming next week. We'll be back. Until then, drink well, be well. We love you.
Run the jewels. Please don't sue us.